Hi everyone, it's Karen again, and I am today here with Dr Lynda Shaw. Dr Shaw is a neuroscientist.
That's right.
And believe it or not, neuroscientists can actually help you with your business. So Lynda, explain to me what a neuroscientist is, and from a small business point of view, how you could possibly, or how a neuroscientist will be able to help a small business.
Okay, well, I'm a cognitive neuroscientist, which means that I have studied and continue to study the cognitions of the brain, which is judgment, planning, emotions, language, all those higher order things that we do in the brain that other animals don't do. But my speciality is emotion in the brain. That is what my doctorate was about. So I look at unconscious processing of emotion, which means all those emotional words that you use in your sales or your marketing or the way you talk to people and engage them, and how the negative ones, what happens when you use those, how the positive ones, what happens when you use those. So it's all about emotional intelligence as well. So it's all of that side of things. So it's the softer skills that I come to corporations and small businesses with.
So for me, and this is quite interesting because I've always felt that. So when I got into this business, it was because I kept landing on websites and I kept flicking off. And as you know, you listen or watching in now will know that. So you do a search on Google, and then you'll flick onto a website, and then you'll flick straight off, and that's called a bounce rate. And it's because you've not been either engaged by what's on that website, or you've not been able to find the thing. And quite often, for me, some websites are quite boring and they talk about themselves a lot, and they don't really get to the point of what is it that the customer needs.
Yeah.
And quite often we write our websites on what we offer as a business, but not necessarily what the customer needs as a business. So the words are very, very important. So would you say is that you would need to get to really understand the mindset of your customer before starting to really look at your business and how you're going to communicate your business out?
Yeah, absolutely. The first thing you should ever do is interview customers or clients and find out what keeps them awake at night. You know, what's the bleed? What is it that actually they really need to fix right now? Because that's the other thing that's quite interesting that people don't realise with the brain is that when we give information, if it's not relevant right now, we ignore it. We'll put it to one side. We'll go, I'll think about that tomorrow. I'll do it another day. I'll give an example. I did Standard Life, pension providers. They hired me as an independent consultant on some research they were doing. So they brain scanned using EEG scanning equipment. You know, the one where you
you've got
stickers
those
on the brain.
things, yeah.
They did that to 36 people. And whilst they were being scanned, they were looking at 3 letters from a fictitious pension provider. Obviously they didn't want them to be biased to the fact that it was Standard Life. Now, one of the letters was really boring and bland. The sort of letter that you get from pension providers. Excuse me folks, if you're a pension provider, I do beg your pardon, but please, some of the information is boring, and it's the sort of thing that I would throw in the bin if it came through my letterbox, but my husband reads, thank goodness, otherwise we would be in terrible trouble, because it's really valuable information. You need to know it, but it's the way it comes across. So we brain scanned them reading a very normal letter. Then we brain scanned them reading a different letter with the same messages but using negative emotional words like struggling and survival, words like that.
The fears.
Yeah? And then the third letter was positive words like saving for your family, holidays. And what was absolutely interesting was that when you're using EEG equipment, the brain lights up a lot, but it's not terribly good about where it's lighting up. But it tells you there's more activation going on for certain things. So there was a lot more activation going on for the positive words, positive emotional words. But what was proof of the pudding was that the people who read the positive words actually took out pensions and savings plans. They actually galvanised them into action to buy stuff. Now that is something that I think businesses like to know about, because that's why we're all in business, right? To sell stuff.
Yeah.
But with integrity, and so you can influence people with integrity by using emotional words. Once you know what it is that makes them bleed, what it is that they really need today. Now, I think
businesses struggle with that though, don't they? Business owners struggle, I think, with understanding the needs of their customer. They understand the product or service that they give and they can give the benefits for it, but I don't think they understand how to emotionally get that across.
I agree. That's why I'm so busy. This is my busiest month ever, June. It is really, really busy, both in the corporate world and in the small business world. People are really needing to get those emotion words right. And it's the thing, when I'm speaking, I'm a speaker, so people after I've given a talk, they're queuing up saying, what words do I use? What words do I use in my written marketing? What words do I use in my verbal marketing? How am I coming across? It's really, really important to get it right. Because once you get it right, it runs. It's fine. You don't have to keep slaving over it unless the market changes or your client base changes. It's very good stuff.
What about the types of the forms of media? So you've got written media, you've got, and then you've got video. Would you say video is a better medium to get your message across, to really relate to the customer? Really, like you're on. I always feel with video, you're on that one-to-one, and also I think people turn into TV mode. And that amazes me, is that people are so used to, I mean, I get distracted. I'm terrible for distraction. It's like if my partner's talking to me and there's something, I just hear something on the telly, I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, and just completely, because the telly has distracted me. So would you say video is from a conversion point of view and getting your message across, would you say that was a better medium?
I think we need all kinds of communication.
Okay.
I think we need video. I think we need the written word. I think we even need leaflets sometimes, the old-fashioned snail mail.
I like receiving something in the post nowadays, which got my name on it.
Absolutely right. I think that's right. The snail mail is working. And it's working better than it ever has. If you get the words right in the mail, and if you really know the audience that you're trying to attract. So I think all of it, you need a bit of everything. But interesting enough, as I say, I'm a speaker, so when I'm on stage, people think they know me.
Yeah.
And they don't know me, but people think they do because I'm talking to them, even though there might be 400 people in the audience. I'm speaking to that one person. And it's the same with videos as well, I think. If you can word it so that you're speaking to that one person who needs that information now, not that they can put off till next week or next year, they need that information now, then you've got a much better chance of converting people into paying customers.
And here's another point which I think businesses get wrong as well, is that they tend to generalise their products or services for the same target audience. And quite often, if they've got a product or services which is slightly different, they don't change their marketing to represent the difference between each product and service.
Absolutely right, and it's not hard.
No,
it's not hard. I mean, you've just got to go onto the prospect's website and look at the words they use, and look to see, what jargon they're using, or not just jargon, but also the ethos of the company. If you can work out the ethos of the company, even if it's not terribly well communicated within the company, but if you can work out the ethos of the company and then use that in your marketing to relate to them better, that would work. Because every company has an ethos. As I say, sadly, so many employees don't recognise what that is. They don't know why they're in business. You need to communicate this right through. Why are you in business?
Why are you in business?
Why are you
to make money?
It's. But if you ask most employees that, they go, well, this product's in business because they can't answer now. Really and truly, they should be able to give you 2-sentence answer of why that product is what it's it, and what is the ethos of that company. What is it, the one benefit that's going to really make a difference to their customer base. And everybody should know that. Everyone in that company should know that. So, so therefore, these words and how we use them are really important. So you can easily plug into that by going onto the website of different companies. And if you want them to be your client, then you use their words and reflect that in your own marketing. But with integrity.
That's interesting.
You have to do it with integrity because people aren't stupid. They will see if you're a phony. So you have to do it well. This thing about the brain, habituating. If there's a little part of the brain, such a weeny bit, most people have heard of it's the amygdala. It's mainly about fear. Yeah. Joseph Ledoux has made his whole career on studying the amygdala, Professor Joseph Ledoux. And he has recognised that the amygdala habituates rapidly. So basically, if you give somebody a negative piece of information, now historically, sales is about fear, uncertainty and doubt. Okay, it's all about fear, uncertainty, doubt, and it works to a certain degree. And of course it works, otherwise it would still be used, and it's still used to this day. If you're constantly using fear, uncertainty, doubt in your marketing and in your sales, and this little part of the brain, this little amygdala goes, whoa, that's a really worrying thing. I need to get new tyres on my car. I would get new tyres, but you know what? There's still some tread left, so I'll leave that. And I won't. So you're not actually getting to, because the fear bit isn't immediate. Because what happens is with the amygdala, the information comes in, raw information. In his famous example is there's something curled up along a pathway. The amygdala picks up that raw information, zaps it from two pathways along the brain. One is really fast, which makes you jump back. Yeah. And one is a bit slower. Trust me, it's the brain, it's not that slow. But a bit slow because it's meandering around other bits of the brain that makes a decision. Don't be silly, that's nothing to worry about, it's just a stick, it's not a snake. So that's how he talks about it. So you've got this part of the brain then that goes, don't worry about that, it's not an immediate threat. So as soon as it's not an immediate threat, you forget it. Okay, so if you're going to use fear, uncertainty and doubt in your marketing material and all those negative words, if it's not an immediate threat right now, your customers or your prospects will go, I'll think about it tomorrow. But if you use positive words where people actually want to embrace it and want what you've got, they will do something about it more immediately.
Because they don't want to end up with that fear. So it's preventative.
Yeah, I mean, somebody once said a long while ago, if you've got hemorrhoids and I'm selling hemorrhoid cream, you want it now. But will you want hemorrhoid cream when you haven't got hemorrhoids? But just in case? No, I'll think about that when I get them back. You see what I mean? So it's you can certainly, using those negative mindset works under certain situations or in certain situations, but not always. Not if you're selling something that's more of a luxury product or something that is not plugging a bleed right now. It's got to be something that has
a need.
Yeah, something that people want to embrace, they go towards. They think, I'd like that.
Yeah.
I'd like that.
Because people impulsive buy, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
And they do, I think I remember seeing something on the telly about, probably last year now, probably. And they were talking about how some stores will bring a smell into. Yeah. And I quite often, I'm often end up buying hot crust buns around Easter because you can smell them baking in the store, and then that takes me back to my childhood. Yeah. And then I have to have them, and quite often I'm disappointed by the bun itself, but the smell is amazing.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, the senses are fantastic for that sort of thing. So if you're selling that kind of product, absolutely plug into the senses like that. Yeah, but but most businesses now really are based on relationships, and that's why networking. Corporates aren't terribly up to speed with networking, and they now start to employ consultants to come in to teach networking skills because they're realising that in actual fact you can't operate without a network. Because small businesses, it's all about networking.
It's all about networking. Yeah,
it's all about networking. So it's all about relationships, and it's not about you going, bleh, this is about me. This is about you finding out how you can help someone.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you can help someone, and it's not even about feeling that that they're beholden to you or even about reciprocity. It's about what makes the world go round. You know, it is about, you know, people feeling as if they're cared for, they're important, they are significant. And I think that's, out of all my work, the one word I would come up with that people fear more than anything is to feel insignificant. So if you help people feel significant when you're dealing with them in a business situation, that their opinions are valid, they're valuable, and this goes for our personal life as well, especially in our elderly friends and family. It's very important that we feel that they feel that they're important still. So if we do that in our business relationships, business will be done. You know, business will be done. It's all about emotion.
Does that then bring about talking about branding, because quite often I see a lot of businesses who are just badly branded, and is that because, and that can have a negative impact on them as a business. So I look at people's websites and I can see a brilliant personality in a person, and then you look at the website and nothing relates at all to them, and therefore when you meet somebody, your perception of them is brilliant, and then you go to their website and suddenly you're put off. So how does your brain work? Surely your brain is then having this argument that says, well, if this person's so brilliant, why is their website not as brilliant? You know, I want to do business with them, but everything that they said to me, I can't find it in their website. Does that put people off? Is that
I think it's not so much, I don't think people necessarily consciously realise that, but unconsciously, one of my favourite subjects on the planet is consciousness. But unconsciously, people will program that. There'll be sort of a dissonance going on. There'll be a sort of a not fitting. There won't be a
self-doubt, a doubt on that.
And it's sort of unconsciously, they will probably dismiss it and dismiss the person. And therefore the website would have done more harm than good. Yeah, but I think when it comes to websites, and I think this is a lesson for absolutely all of us, is that if we leave the content to someone else, if we leave the design to someone else, and of course we do, because if we're not wordsmith or we're not designers, we need help. But if we leave it just to them, they're not going to know who we are, and they're going to have just a perception of it. And we've only ever got perception. That's all we ever have. But you really need to spend time with the people who are going to control your website like that, or any marketing material, any flyers, whatever. They need to understand who you are better as a person. So as the person whose website it is, drop the veneer, drop the barriers, let them see who you are as an individual. And the parts of your personality that will fit, then they should be able to incorporate if they're good designers or good wordsmiths.
Because I've seen that. I've looked at people's, with networking, I've looked at people's cards, even their business cards. I'm terrible for critiquing business cards, but I've looked at business material of people who I've known, and I've just gone to them and gone, who did this? And they went, oh, and I said, and are you happy with this? And they went, well, I wasn't, but, they persuaded. I went, don't ever do that. Don't ever be persuaded, because one, this is your business. You're paying that individual, but two, it has to represent you.
And also, do you know what? You've got to stand out from the crowd.
Yes.
So why would you have this generic format for anything? Because you've got to stand out for the crowd. And it's when your personality comes through, your customers, the ones that you want, who match you, it's like a jigsaw puzzle. They will match you. They will be attracted to you because of part of their personality, which might be similar to yours. So it's, in actual fact, there is this fear. Well, we all have it. There's this fear that if we are not generic, then we're going to turn our back on some business. But do you know what? How much business do you need? There's 60 odd million people in this country alone, and some businesses are global via the internet and so on. How much business do you actually need? It's fine pruning away people who don't fit us. It's fine, because I've now got to the stage in my business where if I don't like working with somebody, I don't do it. I just say no, thank you. I don't think we're a fit. Because for a long time at work, and I don't want to be miserable.
Mm.
I want to enjoy the people I'm working with and have some fun.
And help them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
because that
Could be
is
useful.
Yeah, as a business owner, so we're both effectively in the service industry, and if you get a better satisfaction as a business owner if you feel like you've done a good job and you've seen the results of it.
Absolutely right.
But likewise, you've got to understand. You've seriously got to understand who your customer is
and who you are.
and who you are.
Yeah. So you've got to work out, who am I?
Yeah.
What is it I love? What is it I do? What is it that really floats my boat?
Yeah.
What is it that's fun? What makes me smile? What makes me
Mm.
wake up in the morning and go, yes, I'm doing this today?
Mm.
And what makes me go, oh, I'm doing this today? What is it? Who you are? And I actually think once we know who we are and we know what value we can bring, and we then show it in our websites and any of our marketing material, then the business flows much better.
I agree.
Much better.
On that note, thank you very much.
You're very
That's
welcome.
been absolutely brilliant. I love talking to you. We'll chat a lot more off camera.
We have already.
We have done. It's taken us ages to get here. But no, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
It's been a pleasure.
It's been brilliant. Thank you. Cheers, guys. See you soon.